ahead and get started. Before we do, just a few things. Over on the right-hand side, there's the go-to webinar control panel. We're going to try to get to as many questions and answers as we can. So the little questions tab, if you click on the right arrow, that'll show an area where you can type in a question, and we'll try to get those all answered today. Also, we are going to send the recording of this webinar as a YouTube link, the PowerPoint presentation as a PDF. We have an appetite guide and some other fun stuff that we'll share as well. In 2016, Stuckey & Company celebrated 25 years as an MGA, offering our agents access to solid A-rated carriers like MetLife and Hartford, Safeco, Travelers, and Chubb, just to name a few. We currently have 9 specialty programs. We've been in the business 25 years, which is really cool for us. We offer what's called a 151 promise. So what that means is if an account gets in before 1 o'clock, we get it out to you by 5. If we get it in by 5, we get it out to you by 1 o'clock the next day. And that kind of leads to a lot of happy customers. As MGAs, we do everything kind of, related to program management. So we create the program, we create underwriting guidelines, we file and get rates and rules approved by the states. We quote according to our underwriting guidelines, we bind, issue the policies, endorse, renew, we kind of do it all. We also connect to our agents, so we can put a button on your website or your agency management system that'll go quote it, get back the data, and then we can follow up a quote proposal by email if on people that really specialize in the technology business. These are our specialty programs. SafetyTek, which is a Tech E&O product, we've been doing for over 20 years, and that's what we're here to talk about today. But we also have a Aspire A&E program for architects and engineers, Harbor Guard for marinas and boat dealerships, MPL for some of the miscellaneous classes that fall outside of the tech industry, Element for the green energy industry, personal lines for home, auto, boat, and high-value home, commercial lines, which is kind of a complement to the Tech E&O product also, which includes BOP, comp, auto, bonds, fidelity bonds, and whatnot. And if it falls outside of the commercial lines, we have our surplus lines product, which is a non-standard surplus lines product that if they fall outside of the guidelines of the commercial lines department. So next I'd like to introduce Maggie Hammett, the lead SafetyTek technology underwriter, and Harry Smith, the SafetyTek product underwriter at Stuckey & Company, for presenting and making themselves available for questions during and after the webinar on the availability and advantages of the Tech E&O product.
Perfect. Thanks, Dwight. Now that you know what we do, I want to talk a little bit of our background at Stuckey & Company. As Dwight mentioned, we've got over 25 years in the technology industry, also the underwriting side. We have experience in all aspects of the professional risks. As he mentioned, we do miscellaneous as well as technology. We also realize that some firms may offer more than just simply technology services. We also take that in consideration. And then we have a great understanding of contracts that are obligated by the technology clients. And we have in-house authority up to $25 million in revenue and $5 million in limits. I personally have over 16 years of experience in the technology insurance, and it has been here with Stuckey & Company. And we have brought on a new person, Harry, which I have a great relationship with Harry. I'm going to let him introduce himself to you real quick.
Hi, Maggie. Thanks. I appreciate that. I've been involved in the insurance industry for just about 8 years. Most of my experience has been in production, but quite frankly, I've handled a little bit of everything, from CSR work to field underwriting. So I'm happy to be here with Stuckey and enjoying the work.
Great. Thanks, Harry. So let's go ahead and we're going to get started with discussing some fundamentals of technology E&O. This is also known as professional liability, which protects the insured against claims as a result of their error or omission in performing their professional services. I just kind of threw out a quick little definition for you. An error could be a mistake, inaccuracy, miscalculation, along with an omission that could be left out or excluded. Now here's an overview of the key definitions of technology E&O that we're going to discuss in the webinar today. We're going to break down the difference in reporting forms, explain some insuring agreements, and give you knowledge of key dates to look for, who is an insured, and what the difference is in a deductible and a retention. There can be a few different reporting forms. Typically, claims made and your claims made and reported are used with your professional liability form. You'll see that if you handle miscellaneous E&O, technology E&O, and pretty much across the board, while the occurrence form is seen more on your commercial BOP, GL, on the commercial side. Provided here in this slide, I gave you a quick little definition of claims made. The claim must be made during the policy period. And then if you're looking at a claims made and reported, the claim made against the insured and has to be reported to the insurer while the policy is in force, and it has to occur on or after the retroactive date, which we'll go into details. You want to make sure that you're always looking for a retroactive date if the insured has that. That's very important. And then again, occurrence form, I think most of us are familiar with that. It just covers any incident that occurs during the policy period, regardless of when the claim comes in. Let's cover some information on insuring agreements. This particular slide, the insuring agreements are going to describe what's covered in our SafetyTek expansion, our SafetyTek E&O form that we offer. It's exclusive to us. It's written with Chubb Ace. And we've had a relationship with them for quite a while, probably all the 20 years that we've been around. So we definitely appreciate that carrier. Some of the details, again, these are just brief descriptions. You know, feel free to contact me or visit our website. We've got some full-blown definitions, policy language we could talk about. For today, I just kind of broke it down. Technology E&O is the provision of insured service, technology service and product, and we also include personal injury. Electronic media activities would include electronic content on the internet on behalf of the insured or by the insured for others. And this includes, very importantly, a copyright, domain name, trademark, trade address. We also include something called network operation security, which is the failure to prevent any unauthorized access or unauthorized use of the insured's computer system. And this also includes denial of service attack, hacker attack, and of course, breach of privacy. Another extension we've added is the data breach notification expense. And this particular refers to the insured's legal obligation to pay, including retaining a third-party computer forensics, the notification expense, and any privacy regulations. I'm going to go ahead and turn the slides over to Harry and let him discuss some key dates and definitions you should be aware of as well.
Okay, thanks, Maggie. I'm going to jump right in. We've all dealt with effective and expiration dates in our personal and professional lives. So I'm just going to get right to it. Effective dates are dates the insurance coverage goes into effect. And of course, our expiration dates are dates insurance coverage ends. Our retroactive dates are a little more significant in the insurance world in that they specify how far back in time the insurance coverage applies. For example, with continuous coverage, you could have an insured whose retro date on a Tech E&O policy goes back 20 years, and that's something to be aware of. The extended reporting period provides additional time to report claims. This is significant in that this is coverage that must be purchased, and typically will add 1, 3, or 5 years for the reporting of claims. Number 2 in this regard is these will typically have to be purchased within 30 to 60 days of the start of the coverage. So be sure to review your policies and make sure you understand the language around the extended reporting periods and how much time you have to apply for them. Okay? Who is an insured? A named insured is a person or organization covered by insurance. Key point here is it can be a subsidiary, and sometimes we see those subsidiaries not just here domestically, but abroad. And it's important to understand how the policy language reads and who in those situations would be considered an insured. Partners, agency principals, company principals, officers, directors, and employees are also considered insureds. Independent contractors can be considered insureds, and a lot of times we see these guys added in as additional insureds. On the SafetyTek form, we can add additional insureds who are participating on the contract with the insured, and that's also something that's very significant in the industry. Others per policy, guys, review those policies. You may be surprised who you find in there that would be considered as an additional insured. It could be an heir of a company executive that has fallen ill or is deceased. So again, let's pay particular attention to those things. Okay, up next, let's discuss the difference between deductibles versus retention. Our definition here under deductible or insurers pays for losses and then collects reimbursements from insured afterwards, up to the amount of the deductible. Now, depending on your coverage, this may or may not include the cost to defend yourself against a claim. So I've said this a few times, but it is important to review that policy language to understand how that type of thing will be handled, and more importantly, to understand how your insured would like to see that handled before you get to that junction. Now, with retention, insured is required to make first payment. So I'm going to say that again. The insured is required to make payment first. The insurer only begins to make payments once the retention is satisfied. Now, this is what I like to refer to as an out-of-pocket experience for the insured. And if you don't understand, I'm sorry, if your insured doesn't understand what this is, this could kind of lead you to some trouble. Under first dollar defense, the deductible shall not apply to defense cost. Say that again. On the first dollar defense, the deductible shall not apply to defense costs. And this is significant. Again, read the policies, kind of understand what the insured is looking for, and this is a great option to be able to offer. In $0 deductible, once a claim is presented, the insured has no out-of-pocket costs for the deductible, whether for claims, expenses, or indemnity costs. Okay. Now, I am going to throw this over to Dwight. He's going to talk to you a little bit about trending technology. Dwight is our technology guru, not that he has had the opportunity to play with it all, but he certainly has an interest in most of it, so we're going to let him run on from here.
Well, thanks, Harry. Yeah, you know, So yesterday, I received a call from a life health agent in Oregon, and I talk to a lot of agents every day. She was new to commercial lines, and she's looking for a place to start. She really doesn't know what to specialize in, and she wants to get into the property casualty industry. And it made me happy that I was able to let her know that we have a technology product, and it's just a huge market. There's so many exciting things going on in the tech world today. Some of the things you've heard in the news every single day, like drones and automated vehicle, self-driving cars, virtual reality, and things like that. And I'm interested to know that 17 million workers in the U.S., or 12% of the total employment, is in the technology industry. And we don't realize that, and I don't think we stress that enough. There's 23% of the output in the U.S. comes from the technology industry. It's just oozing with opportunity. On the drone side of things, you've heard of people using drones to inspect roofs, to inspect pipelines, rescue efforts. Amazon is delivering packages with them. The self-driving cars, one day the car was not self-driving, and Tesla, for example, released a piece of software that made it self-driving. You hear a lot of work around driverless trucks. Virtual reality and augmented reality, we've all heard of Oculus Rift that Facebook bought for $2 billion. The Pokemon Go craze, and something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. My wife owns an educational little tutoring business, and virtual classrooms. Students these days have access to all types of the best teachers around, and it's in a virtual classroom. Smart homes and Internet of Things. Supposedly the backbone of the Internet was advertising, and supposedly the backbone of Internet of Things is insurance. It'll provide kind of a new level of risk management where a device can notify us when a valve fails, and possibly preventing maybe a factory from exploding, or just maybe as simple as avoiding a flood in our home. But they say 24 billion devices by the year 2020. It's 2017. That's only 3 years away. Some of the artificial intelligence and data sharing services, I don't want to get on my soapbox, I guess, but there's a lot of really cool things. There's a thing called If Then Then That, where you can get a reminder notification if you hadn't hit your Fitbit goal by a certain time. Stuckey & Company uses a service called Zapier that we supplement our data and our agency management system with supplemental, like personal or professional information with a company called Clearbit. And then, of course, there's things called like Stringify, which it's a little app. It's way cool. You can get up in the morning and start your day off and say, Alexa, tell Stringify good morning. And it'll go through a string of events. It'll turn on your lights, set the nest temperature, turn on your TV, and send you a weather report just in literally a blink of an eye. And there are all kinds of E&O exposures for each one of those. We look at them every day, and it gives us some excitement, us meaning the insurance industry, some excitement to kind of live vicariously through our technology clients. So, that's just some of the opportunities I see and we see every day here at Stuckey & Company.
Thanks, Dwight. What Dwight just talked about, these exploding technology trends, bring a lot to bear in this next section, which is technology target classes. When you have technology expanding at the rate that it is, you can see that we've got listed right underneath the heading, including but not limited to, and it continues. I'm not going to go on about all of these, but we are looking at situations where we're having to consider new players in this field every day. Some of which are, of course, mobile app development, something that we probably never even heard of 4 years ago. And now we're starting to see more and more and more IT project management and staffing concerns. Now, when I do mention IT project management and staffing, we want to be sure to mention we're talking about technology staffing specifically, not back office and things like that, but specifically technology people. So I'm going to cut to the chase on this one, but if you do have insurers that have technology functions and services that you may be unsure about, we'd be more than happy to take a look at those and help you classify those for you. Just give us a call. I'm going to go on into the next point, which is exposure concerns. And these are particularly, important to us. These are the type of things that we're looking at as underwriters when we're trying to qualify the risk. We want to be sure we understand what services are being offered. We want to be sure we understand who their clients are. These two areas have a lot to do with the coverages that are assigned. As far as contractual obligations go, what we're looking at there is basically what is the insured being asked to do contractually? What service are they supposed to perform? How much time do they have to perform it in? And what is considered the successful end result? And then limits to be considered. What we're talking about here is generally the relationships between revenues and the coverage limits being sought by the insured. So we want to make sure that that those numbers make sense. Okay. Now, we have a couple examples here, and see how we're doing on time. And we probably don't want to read through these. We want, if you want to take a look at this and give it some thought, these are a couple pretty run-of-the-mill scenarios that involve Tech E&O claims, but there are a lot more where these come from, and a lot of them are a lot simpler. But our goal here was to get you to look at some companies that provide a technology service, and at the end of the day have really had problems with meeting the contractual obligations that they were assigned at the beginning of it, and they're in that. That's where the need for the product comes in. So I'm going to throw it over to Maggie. She's going to wrap it up for us. Thanks for your time.
So, you know what, if I can just jump in really quick before Maggie kind of closes things out and we start some Q&A, I just want to mention we have, in 2016, we implemented what we call our 151 promise. And, again, that we mentioned a little bit earlier, but that's where we upped our service standards on most accounts and service items to in by one, out by five, and by five, out by one. So we are going to offer an incentive for you to submit your next account, and we want to show you that 151 promise. So we actually have a bunch of gift cards we'd like to give away, and we're going to send you a $25 gift card for submissions of qualifying accounts that generate under $20,000 in premium, and to show the breadth of our underwriting guidelines and things. Anything above $20,000, we're going to send a $50 gift card. So below 20,001 gift card, above 2, basically, is what it boils down to. And anything that fits the underwriting guidelines. So just kind of wanted to throw that out as sort of a little extra incentive to come in, use us, and try out our 151 promise that we started in 2016.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Thank you, Harry and Dwight. for your insight. Great stuff, Dwight, on the technology trends. That's pretty fascinating. All the potential markets out there we could, our agents could jump on. And of course, that's fantastic on the incentive program. One little thing I wanted to note in here too, just kind of give you an idea. We start off with some minimum premiums around $750, and that's for 1 million limits. And we have a lot of credits that we can apply that are available for just the experience that your clients have in technology industry. And of course, some of the contract verbiage that Harry was talking about, we can also apply credits based on some of their contract wording. So we have a lot of wiggle room there to help you get to the premium that we need to write this type of business and help you get some new relationships with your clients. So I hope this webinar was helpful, and it helps you understand some key things to consider and gives you some discussion points with your insurer. Another great resource, just to give you a heads up, is our website, and that's at www.stuckey.com. And that includes some product information, additional claim scenarios. It also, stay tuned, next month, Dwight is going to be launching our technology playbook. This is fascinating information. It's straight and to the point. Dwight and I actually worked on this pretty much all year for 2016, so it turned out really, really good. We'll be sending that out, we're hoping, the first week of February. So keep your eyes open on that. And then, of course, we're going to continue to provide knowledgeable webinars on the technology E&O. We kind of threw up a slide here, you know, myself and Harry. We're always available, would love to talk to you guys if you have any questions, if you want us to help you review contracts or even just technology terms, definitions, policy forms. You know, we have a lot of knowledge to offer you, and we'd like to start a business relationship with you guys.
Yep. So part of the plan is to use some of this content and offer a certification program for technology and technology E&O. So you'll be seeing a little bit more from us throughout the year. To start with some of the questions, the first question is there an online application to ask the client to see if the risk is something we can write? So a few things. We just completed new applications, a new business app that's a very detailed application, and it's fillable, so it's a fillable PDF. We have an online application that you can use. We have a renewal application that is a very kind of a short and sweet path of least resistance type of a thing. It's a two-pager, very quick to fill out. And we can also, if you'd like to share data, we have web services available too that you can use. Is coverage offered in Florida? Just another. I mean, we're going to go over, so maybe just a couple questions.
Okay.
Coverage offered in Florida.
Absolutely. We are admitted in almost all states except for 2. We do not write in Alaska, but most definitely Florida is a fantastic state. I love to visit. But yes, it is an admitted form in Florida, and we can add all of our enhancement in that state too. There's no restrictions.
What type of credits and minimum premiums? Can you go through some of the maybe the credits, or what is a minimum premium for the?
Yeah, absolutely. We have about we start roughly $750,000. Whoa, that's too much. Sorry, I was thinking limits. $750 minimum premium for 1 million limits. We can go up to 5 million limits. If you need lower limits of 300,000, you know, if it's just a small one guy starting out, you know, we can probably get their premium down to $500, $600. So we're really flexible. Some of the credits that can be applied, of course, if they have experience, we love that. We can go, you know, as much as 10% credit just on experience alone. If they've got some particular wording in their contract that, you know, indemnifies, saves kind of the carrier a little bit on a potential claim, we can add credits for that too. But yeah, we have a lot of leeway. We love it.
Okay. Commercial lines, is there a BOP? Can we write comp, autos, those types of things? And I guess I can take that. Yeah, we write The E&O is kind of our hook. The SafetyTek endorsement specifically is a great hook within the technology of product, but we can definitely write on almost every business, retail, wholesale, manufacturing, computer consultants, programmers, all that stuff. We can do a full line of business. Let's see here. Do we have marketing materials? We just, the same time we did, you're making it easy on me. The same time we did the new applications, made them fillable and all that fun stuff, we also came out with some new marketing material, and we'll send that out to you. It's just sideline. It's also on our website. So if you go to Stuckey.com, click on products and SafetyTek, you can download a lot of that material. It's under the underwriting tab. And we have quite a few other questions. We are 4 minutes over already. I'm going to just thank everybody for attending the SafetyTek webinar and the foundations of Tech E&O. We look forward to sharing some additional things throughout the year. And I'd like to thank Harry and Maggie both for presenting. And
make sure. Yeah, we'll make sure. I see a lot of questions come in, and I think that's fantastic. But since we're wrapping it up, Dwight, myself, Harry, we will definitely get answers to your questions as we see them come in. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.